These are things that I think are no longer worth your money as someone who is a millennial and used to buy these things all the time.
We are so excited to announce that the subscription that you're already paying for has not only gone up in price, but now has less features.
So it actually turns out I decided I'm not going to be going to the Super Bowl this year because $10,000 is considered an amazing deal for one ticket.
So today we're going to be going over some things that are just not worth the money anymore in 2026. I feel like I can make a video every week on this topic because there are so many examples that I find on social media of people showing how bad things have really gotten. We have a ton of stuff to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. Let's just jump right into it.
These are things that I think are no longer worth your money as someone who is a millennial and used to buy these things all the time. Number one, a coffee. Coffee, I remember, used to be like $3 to $4 or less, depending on, the kind of coffee. Nowadays, people are spending $9, $10 for a cup of coffee. Going out to eat. I used to go out to eat all the time with my partner. Between the two of us, it would cost between $20 and $40. Nowadays, if I want to go out for brunch or dinner, it's easily $100. The food back then used to be decent, and now the portions are smaller and more expensive, and it's just not worth it. Next, we're going to talk about tech. There's something called planned obsolescence. For example, let's take Apple because I have an iPhone. Apple will literally make you get an upgrade because they want to outdate your stuff so that you can spend your money and buy a brand new phone. I currently have the iPhone 14 and it still works, but I know it's not going to last much longer because Apple is going to force me to get a new one.
And they do this in a couple different ways, whether it's the battery life of the phone, just not holding a charge nearly as well as it did when it first came out, but let's say you go somewhere to get the battery replaced and you have a brand new one. Depending on how old your phone is, the apps that you use every day will just stop working one day. It'll say you have to upgrade to such and such iOS to use this app, but your phone is not capable of doing that, so that's how they strong arm you into getting a brand new phone. That's $1,000 now. And we got a comment from you guys that goes perfectly with this. All the apps are no longer compatible on my phone, and I will not get another one.
All right, so I got a bone to pick with this company right here called Piece of Cake. It actually should be called Piece of Shit. It was the worst experience of my entire life. First of all, from the second the guys show up to my apartment, they're shaking me down. They're talking about a tip, how I'm gonna take care of them from the second they walk in. Before they even touch a piece of furniture, they're asking me about a tip. That's a red flag right off the jump. Then the day before, I confirm with the attendant that I email, and I told them, I'm not gonna have much furniture, but I have a ton of clothes. Please bring clothes bins. I asked for 5 to 6. They confirmed it. Of course, when the guy shows up, he says, I don't have that in my list. So you're gonna need extra clothes bins, yada, yada, yada. The guy's telling me it's gonna be $600-700 extra. But don't worry, just take care of me. It's gonna be $600-700 extra.
And I'm cutting off the video here. There are even more issues, but let alone the insane cost of moving companies in general. Before they do anything, they still gotta ask you for a tip. But going over to the comments section, and Piece of Cake's comments are off right now. They sent me the nastiest text after I tipped them, saying I didn't tip enough. I tipped 20%. When I moved into my building, the contract said Piece of Cake movers were not permitted on the property. Okay then, it seems like this company does a lot of bad business and is not worth the price at all.
The most evil chemical company on earth is literally responsible for every single women's gym clothes and yoga outfit. Like, you go to the gym, every girl in there is wearing DuPont Chemical Company polyester plastic. The DuPont Chemical Company created polyester nylon and spandex. They marketed it to people with millions of dollars. They got these garbage fashion companies, these athletic companies, to start using polyester for all their clothes because it costs nothing to produce. Do you know how insane it is? Like, all modern clothes originate from a chemical company, and a chemical company that's poisoned people for so long, paid out billions of dollars in lawsuits because they've killed people, destroyed the environments, poisoned rivers, etc. And then they're coming after women. For thousands of years of human history, humans have only worn natural materials grown from the earth. And then here comes a chemical company that's still around today, making billions and billions of dollars. You know, they changed their name because so many people realized how evil they were.
And now Lululemon have polyester pants selling for $100. And they are obviously not the only company doing it. And the prices of these plastic items just keep getting higher and higher. I know we've gone over polyester clothing many times on both of my channels, but even if we go over to more natural fibers, there are still some people completely brainwashed by these companies. POV, you were influenced into buying a $300 aloe sweat set, and now this is your routine every time you want to wear it. All it does is pill constantly because it's still terrible quality, and you paid $300 for it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you get some generic brand or the most expensive high fashion luxury brand. Basically, all of it is made in the same place and costs nothing.
Just so all the Westerners can understand the reality of this, I'm in Shenzhen, China, at basically a Costco of designer goods that are being sold for a fraction of the price. 100% genuine, by the way. But I just want you guys to know, like, when you're walking through Equinox Beverly Hills or whatever with your, like, paneled Louis duffel bag and you think that people perceive you as a big boss, you're actually just a clown joke who got scammed, because this stuff is literally landfill garbage. It's trash. It's trash, and there's so much of it, and none of it is special.
And we've also seen similar examples like this with Christian Dior bags that sell for thousands of dollars. In total, cost around $50 to $100 to make. Other companies get their materials from China like everybody else and just ship it over to places like Italy and France, so they could technically say it was made in those countries. It's just a complete ripoff. And we got another comment here. I bought a labeled 100% cotton sheets on Amazon, and they are 100% polyester. Just adding on to the fact that Amazon is turning into another Temu. But we have a little update on the Lego situation we've talked about previously. Of course, everybody's seen that the Lego prices have gone through the roof, but recently they came out with something new so they could raise the prices even more.
Lego is starting to do something that nobody asked for. They're starting to put smart bricks in their sets, and mark my words, they're going to do more and more of this next year, and you're going to see a 20% price jump on any sets that have this, and I am so against this idea.
Going straight over to the comments, what the hell is a smart brick? Just keep the bricks dumb and my price is reasonable. Well, they're not reasonable to begin with, and that's exactly what a reply said. Lego wasn't reasonable ever. I remember trying to save up for set 6584 when I was a little kid. It was $50 or $100 in today's money. By the time I saved up, they stopped making it. But another person answered what a smart brick was. It's a brick that could be scanned. Somebody says scan for what? They have pieces that take batteries and read the bricks, and it does a little picture on it. We have a Mario set, and when he jumps on the spot, it makes his face do something. They even say, yeah, it's stupid, and they're also way harder to put together now. Another comment here, my kid got a Luigi, and there's an NFC tags embedded in different bricks to make Luigi say different things and turn different colors. It's an excuse to charge $40 for a $20 set. But I guess no matter what I say or what they put out, there are still people lined around the block just to be able to pick up these sets. We have a clip up on screen. Been queuing for 2 hours for the Lego Creel House. I really don't know how this is worth it at all.
I bought a lamp off Amazon a year ago. That's the lamp. When I open the app to control the lamp, it plays a video ad with sound that's not skippable for like 5 seconds. The app I use to pick up packages in my apartment, like you go, it's a locker, you open the app, that now has ads when you open the app. I don't know what the general vibe was, like how mad people were, but I'm mad at the ads, and the ads make me mad. I'm mad at the ads.
I bought Sony headphones without realizing one of their features is locked behind a subscription. I feel like I got scammed. And we got another comment from you guys right here. Companies need to stop creating solutions for problems that don't exist. But then how would they be able to make even more money off of you?
We are so excited to announce that the subscription that you're already paying for has not only gone up in price, but now has less features. And for just $5 per month more, you can get back all the features you had before. And you might be asking yourself, why did we do this? Who's this good for? Shut up and die.
I'm watching commercials on Amazon Prime shows that I've purchased. We've also added AI features you can't disable. Also, now there's ads, even if you paid for no ads. It just feels like everything needlessly seems to be getting worse or more complicated with a comment from you guys. I came home from a vacation after driving through a storm for 13 hours and couldn't get into my apartment. It's a keyless code and it ran out of battery power. Does there really need to be an electronic option for a plain old lock and key? I don't think so. But unfortunately, that's where we are today.
Barnes & Noble, we need to talk. because what the heck is this? I bought this advent calendar at Barnes & Noble this year. It retailed for $45. Yeah, 45. Keep that in mind. I had pretty high hopes. It's obviously now day 8 and it has not gotten better. It's arguably gotten worse. So I just needed to sit with you and open up all the rest of these and show you, frankly, what an abomination this is. Start with day 1. You get some stickers. Okay, I mean, they're not the best quality stickers. Like, this has a lot of pixelation on it, but just one more chapter. Day 2. What? Literally, what? It's a keychain mirror, but it's made of, like, I can't even, you can kind of hear.
It's made with the worst plastic you could think of. And this video goes on for a while showing all of the terrible things in this advent calendar, and it just feels like yet another cash grab. The audacity for this to be only 12 days as well. Someone was cleaning out their desk that had over 100,000 likes. It's the $1 section at the Scholastic Book Fair. Not even getting into how advent calendars used to be 24 days and now everyone's doing 12, but they're still going to charge you $40. And switching over to the next topic, even though movie theaters seem to be on their way out, they're still trying to find new ways to gouge you for absolutely anything.
Hey honey, what do you think of the Anaconda popcorn about that? No? And they're not selling.
I wonder why. $80 for that because these should be $25 tops. Bro, they sold one popcorn bucket successfully and just decided to make it their whole personality. $70 for a plastic pail, let alone any of the other prices like what's up on screen right now and somebody complaining about 2 all-beef hot dogs and a Coke costing $25 at the movie theater. But yet again, they'll play dumb and say, why aren't people going to the movie theaters anymore? Not even touching on the subject that most of the movies and TV shows that are coming out today just suck, but it feels like they're really digging their own grave.
The absolute scam that has become the sports apparel industry, because if you are a sports fan who wants to support your team, support your favorite player, you are currently being held hostage by a monopoly that quite honestly doesn't care about you, doesn't care about quality, and is completely out of touch with reality. I'm talking, of course, about Fanatics here. And we just found out that Fanatics is selling an authentic USA World Baseball Classic jersey, Donnie. You got to get yourself one of these because it's only $420. Let me repeat that. $420 for a baseball jersey. And the punchline gets even funnier because if you cough up half of your rent to buy this thing, you don't even get it until May. So you're paying a premium price for a jersey commemorating a tournament that will be over for close to 2 months by the time the mailman drops it off.
Fanatics have ruined the sports apparel and collectibles industry, and the knockoff jerseys are better quality. But when we're talking about sports, of course we could take this a step further.
So it actually turns out I decided I'm not going to be going to the Super Bowl this year because $10,000 is considered an amazing deal for one ticket. In fact, the cheapest thing you can find that's actually left is $6K in the nosebleed section. Look at this, $50K to sit in the front. That's $100K for 2 people to watch Sam Darnold playing a football game. Who's buying this stuff?
And we could go right over to the next clip and find out who is actually purchasing these tickets.
They've turned it into a corporate event. We have this conversation every single year when it comes time for the Super Bowl. The true fans that support these two teams throughout the season, that are at all the home games, that go on the road games, I'm not sure unless you're just extremely well off or you saved up to be able to afford to be able to go to the game, huh? Like, it's ridiculous.
And you could basically say the exact same thing for what's coming up in a few months in the US. The World Cup prices are absolutely ridiculous. The last time I looked at prices, nosebleeds were around $7,500 a ticket, so I'll just be watching the games at home on my TV.
Harry Styles fans are frustrated over sky-high ticket prices for his Together Together shows in New York. They say Ticketmaster is listing prices at more than $1,000, and they say it's way too much.
The tour will follow the March release of Styles' newest studio album, his first in 4 years. Ticketmaster confirmed a whopping 11.5 million people registered for the MSG presale, a record for a single market. The company says it does not determine pricing for the shows and is not adjusting prices now that tickets have been made available. The average price of concerts has gone up precipitously in recent years to nearly $136 in 2024, a 41% increase over 2019, according to trade publication Pollstar.
And that's in only 5 years. Harry and his team marketed those prices, by the way, and it's also a residency. He's not traveling to your town or city. A trip to NYC adds a considerable amount to the ticket price. Good point. 2 tickets were almost $2,000. And another person saying he also has 30 shows in NYC, most expensive place to stay and dine. But we could switch over to a couple of clips of things that are legitimately not worth the money they used to be.
I just don't know what's the matter with kids these days. I've been collecting these fabulously expensive Royal Dalton figurines to give to my daughter as her inheritance, and she calls them tat.
It means that it's cheap. Somewhere, an English grandmother just whispered, "Shame," into a teacup. Fairness. What's wrong with kids these days is we have no place to put this stuff.
Along with people not wanting these kinds of things anymore. My wife's aunt spent $35,000 on Betsy Johnson jewelry, cataloged it all with bought prices and market rate, got $2,500 for all of it. My mom has about 500 Boyd bears in 3 china cabinets. I don't know what that is either. What am I going to do with this in a very small 2-bed, 1-bath? My mom was angry to learn that my grandma's Precious Moments collection isn't worth crap, so I guess it's going to sit boxed up until I inherit it. I didn't get a college fund, but I'm going to be rich in Hummels one day. I don't know any of these things. And we learned from Beanie Babies, collectible tchotchkes are not an inheritance. You might like collecting something now, but if you're banking on it becoming an inheritance level of money in the future, I feel like it's most likely going to end bad.
People saw this and Beeple suddenly became famous overnight as a contemporary artist. You can imagine what happens next. Suddenly the press sees this happening, articles happening, people start to see the thing and want to pile in and see if they can make some money too. In early 2022, we had Paris Hilton and Jimmy Fallon casually talking about their NFTs and how they'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on their Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs.
Can you explain what an NFT is?
A non-fungible token.
Actors like Snoop Dogg, celebrities like Steph Curry, suddenly anybody and everybody was launching their own NFT, buying and selling and being part of the game.
And now almost all of it is completely valueless. Just took a couple of years and nobody wants these things anymore. I mean, at least with the last clip, all the family heirlooms, you have a tangible item. For the NFT stuffs, all you have is a JPEG.
Okay, I need to bring something to your attention. Girl Scout cookies? Where's the other half of the box? You only get one sleeve now? Let me open it up. Oh my bejesus. One sleeve.
And heading over to the comments, we get an entire story from somebody trying to defend it. The cookies themselves aren't really the point. Girl Scout cookies are a part of a program that teaches girls real-life skills like goal setting, money management, decision-making, and entrepreneurship. And I think the reply to this is perfect. You trying to gaslight us into buying those metal-filled, overpriced cookies is so funny. You could buy knockoff Thin Mints, Samoas, and Tagalongs at the dollar store year-round. I get these at Walmart. They taste way better too, and they're both about $3. My daughter sold over 500 boxes years ago because we thought we were going to get a big discount on camp. We got $30 off a $500 camp, and they made $2,000 off of the cookies. Big ripoff, never again. And there's another comment talking about the metal lab testing showed dangerous amounts of heavy metals in Girl Scout cookies. So I mean, I have even more examples like what's on screen. Your gym might be cool, but is it literally 30-minute wait for the squat rack every morning at 6 a.m. cool? I don't think any gym is worth that. But like I said at the beginning, this kind of stuff is just never ending. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.